So, some of you may have seen some of the news that has been going around lately. And I feel like I should address some things, right? Some very specific things. And I want to be clear, I've spoken with nearly no one about this. The most that I've said, I think I called Pigstart beforehand to run down what I wanted to talk about today. I didn't talk to Aiko or Sunday or anyone. Just kind of have some things I need to say. And I need to say them because for too long, I have been accused of some specific misgivings. And looking at the situation at hand, looking at the players involved and the players around those players, I think I found a system. We talk about systems a lot. A system is much more important than a bad action. Bad action, you can correct, probably should forgive a person for. A system is doing something over and over again and expecting that thing to just change overnight, become better. A lot of times, we'll apply this to a single person. You know, we'll look at Bo Blacks, for instance, a very good example of this. Bo Blacks himself, if we're going to look at his history, he would start some drama, and then, after he would start said drama, he would kind of weasel out of it by saying, I have some sort of health predicament, lie about his mental health, use it as a crutch, while at the same moment bemoaning other people for the exact same activities he was doing. This ultimately led to the system of realizing that when you speak with somebody like Bo Blacks, you don't really know the person you're talking to. It's very frustrating. It's not what we would call, I guess, good faith. We're going to be hearing about good faith a lot today, just so we're aware. I like looking at systems. I don't want to just look at somebody doing one thing wrong and having that be the way I just run with a criticism somewhat. However, over the last short period, we have seen an increase in volatility within a very specific sector of the internet. Yes, I'm speaking about Destiny and his orbiters. And I want to show you guys what it is I think is actually happening. So, the reason that this is being prompted, the reason I'm being forced to do something about this, isn't some level or attempt of self-defense. No, this is just seeing the traditions that have gone ahead and propagated a space go ahead and be slowly chipped away and eroded by people who act as if they are beyond the limitations of said space. People who aren't going to follow through with the things that were common and known to us. I'm speaking, of course, yesterday, Aiko got a strike for hate speech. And mind you, this tweet comes out last night, shortly after I ended stream. Aiko Rules said, I got struck for hate speech on YouTube for making a sample of a weird noise not so weird I made on her stream. See the vitriol below. So, we're going to press play and take a look at this.
I don't know where she's coming up with hoity-toity and prim and proper. Who's been saying that lately?
Bridges Studio, which is the LLC that I sole own now, is going to
yeah, that's the noise from the armpits.
For that, and then they kind of
it's just random mouth noises. It doesn't mean anything at all. I don't get it. And of course, when it comes to like the actual merit and meaning of this, right? Like looking at this, surely there's something else, right?
Tried to force Kamala into that, and I don't think it worked, right? I don't know what would have been the right thing. My concern with the left is the trouble with the left is the difficulty it takes to identify as a left-wing person. It's really hard.
It's insane. Like this entire thing, she's like she's demanding that people purity test potential tankies while also stop the purity testing.
To
Very
be accepted
silly.
firmly in the in-group.
So, of course, this is what Aiko posted. And anybody of you who know Aiko, which I'm sure if you're watching me, you're probably more than aware of who Aiko Rules is. Aiko Rules is a longtime streamer who was involved in Twitch Poll around the same time as Not So Erudite, as well as many other people who were around. Aiko recently has taken a liking to looking at the things that Not So Erudite said. All right. And of course, to finish off, so you guys understand, she got a strike for this. Strike for hate speech. All right. And Aiko says, obviously I'm appealing it, and it was instantly rejected. At which point, Aiko posts her community guideline strike. That it was under the policy of hate speech. For the video, Erudite bravely shows her face again, despite being herself. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, this doesn't say that it's Erudite, right?
On the left.
Well,
and it's very...
I think I need to be explicitly clear. I'm talking about a system. And I hope that you're here for the system. So, yesterday, on stream, all right, which of course, that on-stream interaction that Erudite had here, right, was specifically noting this video that was struck. So let's just take a quick little look at this.
Any other drama we should get into? Oh, look at. I was just trying to look in. Very normal title and reaction to me, by the way.
So, this is the video that Erudite didn't react to, just threw up and was like, wow, what is going on with this thumbnail? The exact same video that was copyright struck. We continue.
Erudite bravely shows her face again despite being herself. Also, I don't understand the thumbnail. Like, why? It feels very weird for somebody who's very far left, very like feministy, to make a thumbnail of me just like looking disgusting.
And of course, when it comes to Aiko Rules, many of you may know a little bit about Aiko's thumbnails. Okay? Which, by the way, they're all gross. She even took Smudbug and Wiz, cartoon characters, and made them wet and gross. This is every thumbnail Aiko ever does. They're all wet and gross. It feels uncomfortable. I don't like them. Aiko doesn't care. All right? I digress. However, again, yeah, Aiko's been doing it for years. I would say like a year. Okay? Like, when she said, no, all right, well, maybe it goes back for, okay, yeah, it's going back. Oh boy, this is going back far. Wow. It's almost like somebody walked in to a community and immediately started trying to police it despite not being a part of that community.
Like, why?
Because it's funny.
It's super weird. Really weird. Also, reminder, any content creator that has a GIF of me going, I'm a dog, woof, has never asked me for permission to use it. I don't feel comfortable with them using it for money. And almost everyone who's using it uses it more or less to sexually degrade me as a form of mockery. So just remember that. And if you see it, ask them if they got my consent for that GIF. The answer is no, because nobody's ever asked me.
So, you guys might be seeing that statement. And many of you, in fact, may know a little bit about our channel and about the culture that we have. See, a long time ago, there was this guy named Rhizome. All right? Rhizome He's a chill dude. Like, I don't really have problems with the guy. I don't really think we're friends anymore or anything like that. But, like, I don't really have issues with the dude. Like, he just kind of does his thing. But what Rhizome has is what we call a menu of alerts. And he would just use all sorts of people. You said something funny on the internet, he's going to go ahead, clip it through, put it on as an alert. It's kind of funny, right? And I stole that bit from Rhizome. I stole that, and I don't care, okay? Because it's funny, all right? We have, what is it? We have hundreds of alerts. Literally hundreds of them, okay? And they're all, not all of them are, like, super funny. Some of them are, some of them aren't, right? And one of them, right, specifically, and this is, I'm also going to be clear, by the way. This is the last time you will be seeing this on the channel, aside from the posted VOD, because I have decided to remove these. I have decided to remove these. And I will no longer be doing any of the erudite dog sexuality ones. Rather, I will be looking for further ones from the community, you out there. If you want to go ahead and go, woof woof, I'm a dog, or something along those lines, please make sure, let me know in the comments. Because I don't want to get my channel struck. All right? I don't want to get my channel struck. And I also want to be clear, as like a further note, I would rather someone that isn't a wretched freak of a person to look at when it comes to these things. Because at the end of the day, for me, what it always was not so much like a sexual thing as much as it's a funny thing. Because I'm sorry, at the end of the day, right, this is pretty funny. It's not, like, harmful. Not even really making a joke that she's fucking a dog. In fact, I would argue I'm making the joke that she is a dog. Because, yeah, she kind of is a dog. I've decided to remove them, specifically and only because I would like to continue doing what I do. And I also don't have proper guidance on whether or not I can do these things. See, up until yesterday, which is the VOD that I just showed you, I had to rely on another piece to actually decide whether or not this was okay to do. And I even had this conversation on stream if you were to go back through the VODs to find it. But I went ahead, you know, me being the smart boy that I am, I decided to figure out to show you what Erudite said previous, which was our previous command on this.
I believe in people, so.
And this video occurred 12 days ago. It was her return stream. All right. It was her return stream. And on her return stream, she had this to say about my alerts.
If that doesn't work for you, that's okay. I commented that chokers are cool, and Erudite made a comment about people sexualizing it, and I felt bad. That's not true. Did I? About the choker? Like today? The only comment I have made about people sexualizing me is for a while, there's people who are really, so the lore, for a while there's been a lot of people who really hate me, who post a couple of really sexualized memes of me. One of them is a dog gif that they'll post, and just so it's clear, if you see any streamer that like you pay bits to have a clip of me like being like, I'm a dog, woof, where I'm like making fun of Meowdalin, not even making fun of, mostly like mimicking her or whatever.
Any comment on the Cherry Destiny situation?
And, you know, just so we're clear, I do actually have some other things to show real quick, because I did bring up one thing yesterday on stream, but I figured I wanted to go ahead and expand a little bit on that. See, Erudite, at one point, give me 1 second. Erudite, at one point, she had come into my stream. All right. And what elucidated itself was something that Ryle Kittenhouse has now called the mag dump, which was me looking into the sky and listing every issue I've ever had with Erudite for the last 2 years, give or take. And it took me 4 to 5 minutes to get through it because, honestly, I think she was just kind of funny, right? And she hung around in the stream for a bit, even, right? That was like another part of it. She hung around, she came into stream, asked about the alerts. I showed her the alerts. So what did she do but come into stream and say, hey, by the way,
remove
also,
dog.
you guys literally ruined this stream with the alerts, okay? Came into stream, all right, and while I was going ahead, and you see this little character I have up in the top here, okay? I've got like a bunch of different, I got Sunday, I got food shops, I don't even know, this is horrifying, Bimson, Mr. Girl, the lady from Life Alert, Vivian Wolf, a myriad of characters that I like to make. Because I very much enjoy playing, not necessarily as a puppet, but having these little things, because it's funny, it's dumb, it's enjoyable, it's okay. This is our culture, okay? And so, this thing evolved of the mag dump, and I wanted to bring this up, and by all means, you know, feel free to look through if you want to ask me for these VODs or anything else that I have. By all means, I have literally all of this logged and saved, so I'm ready to go at a moment's notice if anybody wants more information, okay? But I was going to go ahead and do the Erudite with the dog, with her dog Freya as one of our characters. In fact, I still have it, okay? Because Ice Beans made it this way. And not only that, Erudite playing into the memes, all right, is literally just saying, make sure that you, where was this in the chat? I may have skipped forward a little bit, right? Here we go. Here we go. I skipped forward a little bit. You can see right here in the chat, Not So Erudite on her Twitch account. Don't get rid of Freya. Angry face. I'm assuming that this is an angry face. I don't know what it is. I am not what you would call girly pop. Those were what her complaints were. But not only that, we actually did talk about it in private. All right. In our DMs, we did spend some time talking about it. I showed this yesterday. This wasn't in the zip. All right. And this is something that was never an alert. I used it occasionally. All right. It was a little bit, it was probably the most schizo thing that we got. All right. In fact, I'll just show you. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Where did it go? Oh, my God. Where is it? Jesus Christ. That was so loud. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, this one was never made into an alert. All right. Or anything like that. Right?
It's not fucking time.
And, to be clear, I can 100% understand somebody getting mad about that one. Okay? Okay? Ronan, I'm leaving in like a little bit of me screwing up because it kind of like leads you to understand who I am. It's almost as if I'm literally committing a psychic war against you, specifically, Ronan. So I don't use that one as an alert. No, I use that little woof woof one that we said the shit, right? And then there was one other one. So I had one other alert that is also being retired today. All right, can we get some 07s in chat? Never again on stream will you see this.
I wouldn't have as much cool stuff if God didn't agree with me. Woof!
Never again. 07s in chat. So, I sent her the dog fucking time one, and her response was, ha 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 ha, yes! But yeah, my rules or whatever is I don't go-gart anything I use on stream, anti-copyright, whatever, so like if you ever need something, show notes, whatever, I provide it to whomever. Because I want to be clear about myself. Even if you hate me, even if I hate you, I want you to know, if you're out there, there's one thing I hate more than you, and that's misinformation. Because misinformation is a plague. It is vile, and it's disgusting. Misinformation about Aiko doing hate speech. Me having a cute dog alert where you go, woof, woof, is not me sexually denigrating you. In fact, Erudite, I want to be clear, that's the only good thing about you, were those things. Those things where you finally humanize yourself, you peeled back the flesh that you wear, your human suit. And there was almost like a person there. I like that. I actually even went ahead and argued repeatedly throughout the Destiny arc, where we found out that Destiny was spreading around videos non-consensually, possibly recording videos without the person knowing. And I sat here until one moment, and one moment alone occurred. But before we get to that moment, I do want to say Erudite is saying, I know you guys are implying I fuck dogs, which is kind of retarded and seems gender targeted, but thanks. You did the one thing on the dog girl Tom did. Meowdalin. Right? The one that she mentioned earlier. And I think Ryle was the one that clipped that a bit, and it evolved from there, for what's worth. Probably is generic, because most of the male creators get accused of chasing gawk. Oh, one other thing. Sometimes your YouTube videos have the audio a bit loud. It's hard to hear your intro on the stuff. Arrow, I have an editor, but I'll pass it on. Arrow, wait, how do my thirst traps equal dog fucking? Now, mind you, nobody is saying Erudite is necessarily fucking dogs. We're just noting that she was making fun of a person whose entire internet persona is being a dog. It does seem like sex work. And in a video, Erudite denigrated this person and saying it's so easy to do this. And yesterday, we literally watched this woman, Meowdalin, chop down on a dog biscuit and then begin to retch because they don't taste good. So, regardless of all this, right? The DMs aside, I need to talk about another part of what she said was, these people really hate me. And there's somebody in the chat today who can attest to how I display my hatred and rage. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Parallax. Okay? Now, I got a little frustrated. Okay? Because I had been spending quite a bit of time defending this person who now accuses me of sexual impropriety. There's no other way I could see this. It's an attack on my being, attack on my soul, attack on my literal anti-Coomer community. So, I wanted to go ahead and bring up why my opinion of Erudite has changed as dramatically as it has. Because The day after President Sunday and Beckett had gone ahead and released their videos detailing secret interactions that Destiny was having with a person known as Pixie, right? Erudite had left this specific thing out, this little public statement, right? And there are things I want to hinge on here, right? Was after she's talking about all this, she talks about, here are my logs, here is what happened, here is how I argued with Destiny. But specifically, I want to be exceptionally clear here, right? About this portion of it. Erudite wrote, I viewed him as genuinely remorseful and acting to fix the harms he had done, which is why I remained in business partnership with him. I am very disappointed and angry with him that he opted not to reconnect with Pixie. I've learned of the allegations Cherry made yesterday. I support her and Pixie's decisions and the lawsuits and charges. I paused Bridges' releases, canceled guests, and will evaluate business relations as I learn more. I asked Steven for information, but he's uncomfortable sharing due to legal involvement. So I looked at this and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to spend the entirety of the time that I'm doing this Destiny coverage kind of being like, well, Erudite moves a little bit weird, but overall, I can definitely see a way where she drops this guy who abused one of her friends. Cherry and her aren't friends, let's be real. Drops this guy who abused one of her friends. And just in general is a repulsive human being. I mean, it's just what it is, man. I'm sorry. I'm not like a traditional conservative or really traditional, but at some point, the revolving door, I feel like you need to chill a little bit, right? So, of course, this came up. And I went ahead and I dug a little bit back because I didn't really put most of this together, right? And I looked through some statements that were made on Reddit by Erudite. Such as, you realize that he could have been remorseful before and not now, unless you think I'm retarded. Of course, I don't support any of this behavior. Okay, cool. And then, the moment that my brain completely shut off, any bit of charity I could give to this person with regards to being someone who I could say their words mean a thing is before she comes back to streaming and everything like that, she makes this comment in a Reddit thread. Steven and I have full plans to have him on the show again as a guest or contributor. Bridget is not burnt, and we do not hate each other whatsoever. It was a mutual decision, and I would be lying to say I'm not terrified. Thanks for the well wishes. Now, again, it seems like part of having him be a part of the business is him being remorseful, showing remorse, taking the thing seriously, taking accountability. And me and myself, I gotta say, that just ground my gears in a certain way. So much so that I attacked a member of my community. His name is Parallax. Parallax is a friend of Erudite's, doesn't watch his content, doesn't watch her content. Sorry, she doesn't watch yours either, buddy, but you know, whatever. Doesn't watch your content, but friends. And I timed Parallax out for a week and didn't respond because guess what? When I get really angry, you know what I do? I shut the fuck up. Because the moment you get angry and you start talking, eventually something's going to happen. So, I want to go ahead. Let's go back to this real quick. Aiko gets struck. Right? The day after, Erudite reviews Aiko's content, not actually reviewing the content, the material of it, or anything like that, just a thumbnail. And then, it just so happens, she gets a video struck shortly after that. Now, I ask you what you know about stochastic terrorism. Because that is the closest thing I could describe this as. It's obviously not at the level of You know, who will rid me of this meddlesome priest? Spoken by an old king. And then 4 knights went out to kill that priest. When we bring stuff up on stream, sometimes we have to realize, hey, there might be a harm that comes from that. Especially if we have a community that is okay with these things, right? In fact, let's talk about a little bit about Erudite'S community. First up, we got Tomfoolery Show. You guys might remember Tomfoolery shows from such hits that Erudite has done before, all right? Such hits as when Erudite did a trial for Tom after Tom said that Kelly Jean deserves to be objectified and that he's going to show her tits on stream every day. And Tom literally advocating for the male gaze to be a thing. Well, we got this lovely little clip at the end of everyone else has litigated it. We all were like, wow, Tom, you're kind of a creepo. And he kept freaking out, and it was very funny. But Erudite decided to break her silence last year. And it ends with this.
And I would hate to call him a sex pest for one action. But Tom, if I see you doing shit like this again, I'm going to probably also think that you're doing some sex pestery. I'm not going to be a big fan of that.
Well, just to be clear,
problem for
we
me.
will probably always pull up hot chicks on stream, and
now, you might be asking yourself, why am I bringing up Tom? Well, as many of you may know, Destiny, after all the allegations dropped, all right, some of the dust settled. There were, I guess, like a big 3 that are left around him, right? It's Erudite, Tom, and Dan. Now, Tom recently has gone ahead and done something that I personally think disvalidates the sort of communities that we've built as sort of reaction streamers, right? Because Ryle Kittenhouse had been going ahead, cutting up pieces of Tom's vids, putting them up, so that way other people could get a little bit of a laugh, get a joke, possibly even say, hey, check out Tom, make me get more clips. Well, Ryle had posted on February 23rd, woke up to 4 videos struck by Tomfoolery P. Seems like he forgot he gave me explicit permission to entertain his friends and family and educate his audience. You embarrass yourself and you lose, buddy. Look forward to hearing from your legal team. So, Tom, at once, you know, we all know what Ryle does. He has had a non-monetized channel where he was just logging stuff. See, I hate misinformation. I hate misinformation more than anything else. And the easiest way to propagate misinformation is to make sure that nobody can actually see the information that would let them make their own decisions. People like Ryle, all right? People like Ryle are critical to the functionings of the areas that we're in, right? People like Ryle are going to make people tune into Tom. There's a benefit. We all live with this benefit. I watch your videos, you watch mine, we argue, we go ahead and freak out or do whatever. More videos get made. An ecosystem evolves. We all know this to be true. I dare any of you to go ahead and show me a stream where these people specifically have 0 references outside of them. We all do this React content all the time. And now, us being able to do that, despite it being the de facto rules of the space, shout out Nick Diorio, is becoming in danger. Right? To go further on, Ryle's little tweet. He did include this post from Tom. It's like Groundhog Day here. You keep referring to the Cabal in an odd way and just generally being confused. Kittenhouse posting more clips for me to laugh at with my family and friends, showing he's either really, really young or just has an incredible lack of life experience like J-Stock. But his videos helped me summarize what internet people are like to those who didn't understand before. Again, this isn't like the harshness of, hey, I don't want you putting this stuff up because it's my stuff. If somebody asks me to take this stuff down, most of the time I'll do it. If it's critical of that person, I'm not going to. That's what it is. And now, we've shown that Tom also engages in this. Now, you might be wondering, who else possibly would go ahead and engage in this sort of behavior? Would it possibly be Destiny's best friend and co-host of the Anything Else podcast, Dan?
And you know they hide, by the way? So I have a list of all the employees in Trust and Safety, and half of them hide. No profiles, no nothing whatsoever.
They even have they're not allowed to go into chats on Twitch either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those days are... So that's the other part. So I do know there is another thing. I haven't gotten to this point here because I hope I don't have to go to this direction. So sometimes there are people and you can't get to them. Steven is a good example. You can't fucking get to these people no matter what level of insane targeting.
Whatever is being said right here, I'm already concerned.
You are with the websites that you set up and everything else, they just don't care. Then you have to start going to the people that they care about. And then they start unless they're a psychopath.
Now, conveniently, everybody was like kind of okay with this at the time. I wasn't. I never was. Because guess what? We were going after Hassan Piker. You know, the guy who did all the bad stuff and talked about the bad things. And, you know, definitely worse than covering up a system of sexual abuse that's been perpetuated against many people for years. Surely, we're going ahead and saying all of these ideas that we have about not getting people's families involved, not messing with the way that they make their money, or anything like that, out the window, just as soon as it's convenient. These people are dangerous. And I want to say, not only are these people dangerous, this one goes to the very top. All right? Many of you may know, recently, President Sunday got demonetized on YouTube because of somebody going after some old content, all right? Some old content, and finding one with a debate, and now Sunday loses his main source of income. Whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, it seems very odd to start going ahead and trolling through people's backlogs to find ways to hurt them. Now, normally, someone with principles, well, I think this is the way you guys want me to say it, right? Chat, can I get a little bit of a morals? Normally, we would go ahead and denounce these sorts of efforts because we understand the harm it causes to free speech. We understand the harm it causes to the work that most of us do. We understand that when there is a threat to someone's livelihood, that is going to cause them to change the way they interact. Right? Steven, obviously, has been championing this for years. So when Sunday got, demonetized, he would have oh wait, never mind. Destiny is now cheering on the demonetization of President Sunday. This is after openly advocating for the reporting of JStalk and other creators. Remember, when Destiny can't bully you into taking his side, he and his community will go after your income. Where Destiny says, if anybody can find JStalk calling me a slur on his kick stream, send me the clip and I'll report him to the Kickstarter program. And then, along with that, him posting an image of President Sunday's DMs and saying, "Rip Bozo." Now, mind you, okay, probably not a problem, right? Unless somehow you have a community around you that seems to take the lead from leaders, and then they make do what their will is. By their will, I mean Destiny is Erudite'S, right? And, hopefully, you would hope, right? You would hope that someone like Destiny would be reasonable with his communities, right? Not just going out and making threats to Queenan and his life, okay? I mean, who knows what he would do if he saw Queeman in real life? Would he hit him? Would he shoot him? Would he him? Queeman's one of your funniest bits in a while, by the way. Who knows? We'll never know. Because he just wants to see him in real life. Okay? And, you know, to go even further on that, Destiny, after going ahead and posting what I would go ahead and make a guess to be Queeman's name, all right, a guess at it, he went ahead and posted this in his DGG chat. Is Queeman's full docs public yet? Who will rid me of this meddlesome twink? We need to talk. We need to talk about the way we need to engage with these people. I'm not going to cease covering a single one of these people. I have removed the Erudite dog clips. Sorry, guys. I know how much you enjoyed having something fun, chill, whatever. But we can't have that. Because now, the so-called adults in the room, the ones that go ahead and parrot up non-existent success stories, shout out Progressive Victory, have decided to use a community that has been criticized by many as being nothing more than a bunch of rabid dogs waiting to lap up what little meat gets thrown to them by their owners. Erudite, whether she knows it or not, and I personally don't think she knows it, because I think she's stupid. I don't think she really gets it. I don't even know if she knows where she is, if I'm going to be real with you. Erudite brings up Aiko's stuff on stream. Hours later, Aiko gets a strike for hate speech. There's a responsibility that we have to have as creators that is obviously missing. You know, a remorsefulness, right? Possibly a ability to connect with the comments. Understand that not everywhere is going to go ahead and want to just follow everything you say. People that don't care about your credentials. People who are largely joking and waiting for you to take the bait. Ultimately, we are under attack. Sunday has fallen. Aiko seems to be next on the chopping block. So, I'm doing this because I have no other choice. Anybody who sits by during this, I'm not going to really judge you. I understand. You know? I get it. This is for a lot of you, probably it's your job. This might not be something you want to do. There should be a fear of interacting with these people, even a positive note, because when people are willing to throw out all principles, morals, and concepts that they've had for years because they feel a little pressed, those are people that the moment you step out of line are going to strike you down. These aren't necessarily people I'd associate with. This behavior is repulsive. I don't recommend anyone go and do anything like that. Don't report their videos. They don't do anything wrong. They don't, most of the time. Sometimes Destiny does say, hey, a bunch of people need to get shot at a rally, but, you know, hey, that's just talking shop, man. You know? Just him grabbing him by the pussy, right? I want to be clear. I don't want any of you to do that, because this is something that apparently we need to do. Because unfortunately, we have a community that doesn't understand that we don't do these things. And I'm going to keep doing this. Because I'm not really done with this. I'm not doing this for like some clout thing. If I wanted to, I would have cut up videos before this. I mean, how many Erudite segments have I done and not cut a single video on? Maybe I was waiting to do something. Maybe I no longer can wait. Maybe none of us can. But then again, who knows? Good talk. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll be doing this again.